Hi Pilates Queens, I'm Kayla, your certified Pilates instructor. Today we have an intense abs and booty wall Pilates class. I'm gonna be doing this class with 2-pound ankle weights, but I want you to know that this class is just as effective and challenging with your own body weight. I wanna start out the class with teaching you the proper setup against the wall. We're gonna be doing a lot of bridging to work those glutes, and I wanna make sure that you are avoiding pressure on your neck and you're effectively working your glutes more than your hamstrings. So let's get to that setup. As you're getting set up against your wall, I want to see a double 90-degree bend at your hip crease and at your knee crease. So we want to make sure that our shins almost look like a shell. So you've got that 90-degree bend at your knee crease and 90-degree bend at your hip crease. Now what can happen if we are too close to the wall and we go into a lift off? We can put too much pressure in our neck and be resting on our cervical spine, and we're not going to be able to get that full hip extension here. You can see I can't really lift any higher because I'm too close. Now what can happen if we're too far away from the wall? We can be pushing too far against the wall and be using too much of our hamstrings and not getting enough of our glutes. I'm also feeling like I'm pressing away from the wall versus pulling into the wall. So getting that nice 90-degree setup, which in some exercise will also take a little of adjusting through the movements, is that way when we are coming up into that full bridge, we're able to get our full hip extension, and we are also not arching from our back and popping at our ribs. We want to keep our ribs down and together. And it's almost like we've got a nice straight line from our armpits to our knees. Now that we've perfected our setup, let's get to the workout, starting with our warm-up. Feet are planted hip width distance apart on the wall. We're gonna start through our pelvic tilt and rolling up into a full shoulder bridge. Slightly tucking the chin to the chest, so again, you feel the weight majority in your upper back and shoulders, avoiding your cervical spine and your neck as you gently roll the spine down. Inhale as we roll through, pelvic tilt, coming up into your full shoulder bridge and beginning to melt down. Now, a couple other things I didn't talk about in the setup, as I wanted to get through them in the movement, as we started to feel what it feels like with our feet up against the wall, is that, again, I don't want you to feel like you're pushing away from the wall. I actually want you to kind of feel like you're pulling the wall towards you, and that's really gonna get the backs of the legs and the glutes fired up so much more, and it's gonna help keep your body in the right position so you don't feel like you're continuing to slide away from the wall. Let's take this next one up to the top, holding, and we're gonna move into a march. So try not to let your hips drop. We're just gonna alternate leg lifts here, coming up and in, changing sides, keeping those hips nice and lifted, regrounding the foot back against the wall, feeling the core start to warm up, feeling the body start to get a little bit heated here. Last one, holding, and then slowly rolling down. We get some good core work as we imprint the spine bone by bone. Let's come up into a flat back lift now. So avoiding the roll, you're gonna exhale on the way up. So reversing the breath here to the top, and then inhale, tapping down. Exhale to the top. You're finding that full hip extension all the way up, feeling that energy at the crease of your seat. You're working your alignment. We've got 2 parallel lines in the body, lining up the knees with the ankles, the hips with the knees, and then the shoulders with the hips. We've got 2 more here, exhaling to the top and tapping it down. Last one to the top. We're gonna hold here and move into those marches again for 10, grounding down, and 9, keeping those hips nice and level for 8, 7. As you press the heel down on the wall versus pushing against it, you can keep the hips nice and lifted so you don't feel like you're dropping out of it for 3, and 2, and 1 more. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely starting to feel the backs of the legs getting warm after that. Let's go ahead and start with the arms. Coming up, taking a big breath in. As you exhale, we're gonna find our chest lift, getting those core muscles and abs a little bit more warmed up. Inhale, slowly lowering down. Now we want to make sure that we're lifting our head and neck from our abdominal muscles and coming down. So it's super important that we're not aggressively tucking the chin to the chest. Almost imagine that you're folding your sports bra band in half, and we've got 2 more. And the last one, we're gonna increase the range of motion of the arms, adding a further reach back with it. Exhaling, coming back into that chest lift. Inhale as you open, exhale, coming back into your chest lift. 3 more here, and then again, we're gonna be adding on to this. Your feet are just lightly against the wall. It feels really nice to reach those arms back. Exhale, 1 more here. Now you're gonna add that single knee lift to it. So exhale, 1 foot comes off the wall. Lightly set it down as your arms reach back. Exhale, alternating to change. We wanna make sure the ribs stay down and together as those arms reach back. Here's 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. And bring it down. Go ahead and circle your arms down to your sides. I'm gonna come into a frog position here, and we're gonna slide our legs up and just slide the legs down. Slide the legs up and slide the legs down, starting to feel the core involved. So my big toe is just barely grazing the wall as I'm going up and down. So all of the work is actually in the abdominals, keeping the spine imprinted against the mat. So that means there's no curve underneath the small of the back. I'm trying to draw the abs in and up to minimize that arching. Now we're gonna hold the legs long. Arms are gonna come up and stretch back here, and we're gonna work into a roll up. Tuck your chin to your chest. This is gonna start some deeper core work here. Now, if you feel that that was too challenging for you, you could scooch your bottom back a little bit so the legs aren't quite so high. And you can always use your arms guiding down and against your legs, trying to maintain the control of the movement from your core. Again, here you're guiding your hands up. But because we're rolling up, the feet need to kind of slightly climb the wall and roll down with the body as well. So that is what makes the exercise effective in the core, because you essentially are really not using the wall right now for support, but it is guiding you to keep those legs in position so they're not dropping any lower. Here for 4 more. And exhale as we're coming up. This is a really big bulk of our core ab work right now. Just kick-starting that off hot out of the gate. I love doing abdominal work, so might as well start it. And I just also notice like my body gets so much more heat when I really train to move from the core out first. So this is such a great way to start the workout. Let's bring this next one up to the top. And we're just gonna grab the backs of the legs and get a nice stretch in our hamstrings here as we bow the forehead towards the knees. And then inhale, flat back. Rounding out the spine, coming in, relax the shoulders out of the ears, and inhale up. One more time. And we're gonna come up into that flat back. As you let go, your tummy muscles are gonna turn on. You're gonna roll about halfway down here and draw the elbows back behind you, coming into a reclined abdominal sequence. So super important as our feet are up against the wall here that we're not just resting down. So you saw how my heels anchored in. Now I have just like my toes kickstanding, which is gonna allow me to come deeper into my tuck, and also making sure that we're not slouching in those shoulders here. So the setup is crucial, otherwise this is not going to be effective core work. You're gonna feel this all quad and hip flexor, so keep that in mind. We're gonna pull the right leg up towards the ceiling, finding a little scissor split here. We're just gonna work towards a bend and extend on the exhale. Now when you're exhaling, you're drawing your tummy muscles in and up, pointing that leg up towards the sky. This is also a really nice length into the back of the leg. And we're here for 4. And exhale 3. Make sure you're pushing the mat away and you're not slouching in those shoulders. 2. and we're up on one. I like to do a little point and flex because that also gets the calf a little stretched out as well, really feeling that length happening in the hamstring. Hold the toes pointed for a lower and exhale, lift. Inhaling down, exhale as the leg lifts up, the abs draw up. You keep the chest open, the elbows pushing the mat away. That left leg is very light against the wall. You keep scooping and drawing in here for 2. And one more, we're gonna challenge our center line here. So obliques are gonna turn on as the right leg starts to move away from your center. You're gonna feel that in the side abs and come back into center. Opening on the exhale and back into center. Oh, this ab work is also going to help us build in our leg sequences as well. So this is also kind of a nice warm up for where we're about to go in our glute bridges after this. Let's take that side raise out and move it into a circle around and up. Making sure that that left side does not move. Just the right leg is circling from the hip. You're holding those tummy muscles in and up. Last circle, and we're gonna reverse it now. Down, out, around, and up. So your range of motion is really gonna be determined on the stabilization from your left side, making sure that you're not rocking those hips off. Last 2, and one more. Right leg is gonna lightly lower to the wall, starting to feel a little shaking there. Go ahead and pull the left leg up. Right toes are just kickstanding. We're gonna bend and extend on the exhale. Bend, exhale, extend. Reposition your body here. If you start to notice you're dropping those shoulders into the ears, push your mat away and pull your belly button up under your ribs. Here's 3, exhale. 2, exhale. Last one, hold long, point and flex. That's always so juicy, feels so good. Hold the toes pointed for the lower and lift. And keep the belly button, the pubic bone should always be slightly tipping in, so we don't wanna feel like the hips are being pulled forward. We're tucking in and holding that through the entire movement for 3, exhale 2, exhale 1. We're gonna challenge our center line by bringing the left leg away from center line and back in. Now you might notice that one side is a lot more connected to the other. So funny story, I used to be a gymnast and I kind of led everything with my left leg. So like I have better balance on my left leg, but I am dominant right side. So I have way more control of anything I do with my left leg, which is always so interesting. Let's start the circles. Slightly out, down, around, up and in. Out, down, around, lift up and in. Keep pushing those elbows down and in to your mat. Holy moly, you got this. Last one, and reversing. Swoop down, around, and up. Maybe I should have called this class glutes and legs versus abs because, wow, adding the ankle weight is an extra challenge on the quad. Last one, so much core stabilization, and we are going to lower it back down. Go ahead and gently press yourself up here, and I want you to boost your booty forward, so when you recline back to your mat, as we come into our glute sequence again, you're back into your perfect setup with that 90-degree positioning here. We're gonna be moving into our flat back bridge ups again. As you exhale, go ahead and send those hips to the sky, finding full hip extension. Now we're gonna add a little releve, coming off the heels, anchoring the heels, and lowering it back down. Now with that releve, I need to adjust my feet up a little bit higher. So I noticed my ankles were not able to get the full benefit of that lift. So like I said, though you've got your perfect setup, some positions are going to need adjusting. Exhaling to the top, lift the heels, lower the heels, tap it down. Inhaling on the lowers, exhaling on the lift. Inhale, down, down, exhale, up, up. Keep that full hip extension as you're adding the releve. Now notice, you might be feeling yourself being pushed away from the wall. So again, we might need to adjust the body, coming in a little forward if that happens. I don't want you on your neck. We're holding at the top and just working releves here now. Don't let your hips drop. Feel that squeeze in your bottom, lifting and lowering. Oh my gosh, that is some good calf work. Woo, holding the heels heavy. Now we're pulsing the hips up 10, up 9. I want you to think about that upward motion versus the downward motion, squeezing right at the crease of your seat. We are here for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and set it down. Woo. Go ahead and find a frog position now. Heels turn in, toes and knees turn out. We're repeating that same sequence in frog position. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, meet yourself up in the top of your bridge. Add the heel raise, releve, down, down. Exhale, lift, lift, down, down. These are gonna go quick. Feeling that good booty burn, working strength in the abs and glutes. Strong core at the top, your ribs stay in, making sure we're not arching. If you're starting to feel your lower back, you might be extending from your lumbar spine in your bridge. So you might need to lessen your range of motion in your lift and really be mindful of the connection in your core. Holding this one at the top for just the calf raise here for 10 and 9, 8, squeeze those glutes, press the heels together. We've got 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels are anchored, hips go high and pulse it up and lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, you're there. It's 4, oh my gosh, 3, 2, 1, lowering down. Woo! Wow, really feeling that. Okay, if you feel like you need to adjust, because I kind of do, sliding forward here, we are going into some single leg work. So take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, bring it up to the top of your bridge. We're gonna pull our right knee to the chest in a tabletop position, working into a straighten and bend. So again, there's that extend to bend that we did in the ab work. Trying to stabilize on the left side. You might have to take breaks coming out of it and resetting here for 5 and 4 and 3, pushing through 2 and 1, holding long. We're gonna send the leg down for that lower and lift. As you lift, I want you to try to press your left heel down and into the wall, almost feeling like your hips are getting higher on that lift for 6 and 5 and 4, oh my gosh, my left side's about to cramp. 3 and 2, hold it up on 1. We're gonna go into that side positioning, challenging your center line, opening slightly off to the right, trying not to let that left side drop, and you are here for 5 and 4. Find the control with it. 3 and 2. And 1, start the circle down, around, and lift for 5 each direction. This is your final push. Here's 3 and 2. Last 1. Oh my gosh, reverse it. 5 and 4. Like I said, this is that intense abs and booty. 2 and 1 more. Lower the right leg down, reset, hips release. If you need to hug your knees to your chest, oh my gosh, that left side, holy burn. Okay, rocking side to side, maybe some knee circles, feel good. I'm not gonna lie, towards the end I was getting fatigued on that one, so my lower back was starting to take over a little bit, so I'm just gonna massage into a couple knee circles here, rocking around side to side before picking up the second side. So this is what Pilates, what I love so much about Pilates is the intuitiveness in the body, right? Because it's not about pushing through something. We want to have intention, alignment, precision, And that is where we really build that deep mind-body connection. We have the challenge, which helps us build strength. Let's reposition for that second side, starting with a breath in. As you exhale, hips are going to lift. You're gonna bring your left knee up towards your chest, coming into the extend and bend. Exhale, extend and bend. Extend and bend. Here we go for 5 and 4. 3, you're really feeling the heel is pressing down on the wall, not against it, holding long, taking it into the lower and lift. And down, exhale, lift. Down, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. My arms are doing a heck of a lot of work too, helping push the mat away to help keep those hips up in that lift. And here is 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1, holding at the top. You're gonna challenge your center line. Left leg goes out and in. Keep those hips level and your core and ribs together. Staying in that zip up. Use those arms. Oh my gosh, recruiting from that right glute so much. We've got 3 and 2. And last one, holding at the top for your circles. Over, down, around, and lift. Out, down, around, and lift. Remember, your center line is where we want to be. We don't want to shift too far off to the left and reverse it. These circles are really challenging that stabilization in the right glute. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely burning. Yes, you can. Beautiful job. Building strength and bring it back to the wall. Reset the hips nice and level, and then exhale, setting down. Hug those knees in towards your chest. A beautiful job. Go ahead and find yourself in a tabletop position. Again, talking about setup here. Your right palm is gonna be up against the wall. We don't wanna be pushing away from the wall. We wanna kind of slightly be leaning into it. So you're gonna have a slight bend in your elbow. Make sure the hand is not up too high and not down too low. We should feel like it's a good point where we're able to reach against it, but also kind of feel like we're pulling into it. This is gonna help us keep a nice level body position, adding more of a challenge as we go into a single leg raise. Exhale, your left leg is gonna extend out. Keep the hip nice and level and go ahead and bring it back in. Core is strong. Exhale, pushing away and bringing it back in. We're only here for 5 because we're just gonna keep building this whole sequence. So go ahead and hold it long, bring it down, and exhale, lift with the straight leg. Make sure you're not dropping into your lower back. And we've just got 3 more here. Lift from the crease of your seat. 2, hold it up on 1. Now, super important as we bend the knee and straighten the leg that the knee doesn't drop. So you really feel a good hamstring connection here for 3 and 2, strong core, and 1 more. Now we're gonna challenge that center line again as the left leg slightly moves off to the left and back in. Foot is flexed, really noticing the left oblique there for 3. Right arm's wanting to start to bend a little bit, so pay attention to that. 2, and last one, hold it at center and make little circles here. Up, around, and in. Up, around, and in. Think about lifting more than you're dropping, keeping the length here. And last one, and we reverse the circles for 5 and 4. Keep that right arm as straight as you can with just a micro bend in the elbow. 3 and 2, hips stay level. And last one, we lower the left leg down. You're gonna push against the wall with your right hand, push down into the mat with your left hand. See if we can press back to a plank here. Leveling the hips, leveraging the wall. You can always go hand down on the mat if the wall is too much, but that's that extra athletic challenge, having that body awareness. Deep breath in. You're gonna cross your right into your left elbow here for 10. Exhale, 9 and 8. 7, beautiful, 6, you've got this, final push, 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1, so strong. Softly lower down, second side, right away, finishing strong, ladies, you've got this. Exhale, stretch the right leg back, level hips, and bring it in. Push from the tush, keep the square body, got that strong 4-point position. Feeling the stretch and bend from the glute hamstring. Hold it long for your lower and lift. Down and up for 4. Exhale, 3, 2, and hold up on 1. Bend extend, bend, extend. All of this should look familiar. Last one, extend. Now we move off to the right, but maintain the center line. I want your belly button to stay right in the middle of your mat. Starting to feel that right oblique. Yes. Last one, reposition, final circles, around and up. Pull into midline, around and up. Feel the crease of the seat. Last one, and we've got 5 in reverse. Up, around, and lift. Up, around, and lift for 3 and 2. And last one, we lower the right leg down. Send your left leg back. Find your high plank. Left hand stays on the wall if possible. If you need to set it down, no problem. 10 crossover mountain climbers. And exhale. Exhale. You're there. Final push it. 6, 5, you got this. 4, lift from the lower core. 2 and 1. Set it back and downward facing dog. Lift those hips, press through the heels. Feel that nice stretch in your hamstring. Let your heart rate come down. Go ahead and lower down to your knees and take a brief child's pose. Really feeling the body surrender and thanking yourself for all the hard work your body just did for you. This is your intense wall Pilates glutes and abs class. If you enjoyed this workout, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to officially sign up for the 7-day wall Pilates challenge. That will go straight to your inbox. You'll get those email reminders and you'll be able to track your progress.